There's a stage in photography where most people quit, and it's not at the beginning. It's right after you start getting good. You understand composition, you know your camera settings, you go out and replicate images that you admire, but the moment you try to start creating something original, that's where it all falls apart. Your photos don't match what you had in your head, and it feels like you've stopped improving completely. I've been through that exact same stage. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get through it. Once you've nailed the basics, the rule of thirds, leading lines, and you've spent time studying photographers that you admire, the next step feels like a huge leap, creating work that actually feels like you. And here's why it gets difficult. In the beginning, improvement is fast. You go out, apply what you've learned, and your images get better. It's exciting and it's motivating. But then something changes. You start trying to make your own work, and that progress slows right down. Your images don't quite work, and you can't figure out why. And the gap between what you see in your head and what you actually create becomes really frustrating. I remember this stage really clearly. I struggled with it a lot too. So in this video, I want to help you understand why this happens, and more importantly, how to move through it. The reason this stage feels so hard is because you've outgrown the rules, but you don't yet trust your own eye. When you're learning, rules are incredibly useful. They give you structure and tell you what works. But at some point, those same rules start to limit you, because you're no longer trying to create a correct image, you're trying to create a meaningful one. And there's no rule for that. This is the moment photography shifts from being technical to being creative. And being creative is harder. The biggest shift you need to make is moving from how do I compose this scene to what about this scene actually interests me. That's a completely different way of thinking. Instead of starting with composition, you start with attention. What draws your eye? Is it colour, texture, light, mood? Because if nothing stands out to you, the image won't stand out to anyone else either. Strong images don't come from applying rules, they come from noticing something specific and building the image around that. Copying other photographers is one of the best ways to learn. It teaches you composition, teaches you light, teaches you what works. But eventually it becomes a problem, because when you're copying, you're not making decisions. You're following someone else's. When you go out on your own, there's no blueprint anymore. That's why it can suddenly feel like you've gone backwards, but you haven't. You've just reached the point where you need to start thinking for yourself, and that takes time. There's a concept that explains this perfectly. It's called the gap. The gap between your taste and your ability. At this stage, your taste has improved a lot. You can see what a strong image looks like, but your ability to consistently create that hasn't caught up yet, and that gap is frustrating. The important thing to understand is this is completely normal. Every photographer goes through this, and the only way through it is to keep creating. So how do you move forward? The first thing, simplify. Instead of trying to create a great photo, go out with one simple goal. Find something that interests you and build an image around that. That's it. It could be colour, it could be light, it could be texture or shape. Just keep it simple. The second thing, start removing. Most photographers at this stage try to include everything. Strong images come from exclusion. Ask yourself, what can I take out of this frame? What isn't contributing to it? Simplicity is what gives an image its strength. And the third thing, stop worrying about whether your images are good. That mindset will hold you back. Instead, ask yourself whether the image feels interesting to you. That's where your style starts to develop. Style isn't something you choose, it's something that emerges from what you consistently notice, from what you're drawn to photograph. If you're always drawn to colour, you'll develop a style around colour. If you're drawn to minimal scenes, you'll develop a minimalist style. But it only happens if you allow yourself to follow that instinct. not trends, not what performs well online, just what generally interests you. This stage is frustrating, but it's also the most important one, because this is where you stop being a photographer who follows and start becoming one who creates. If you're in this stage right now, stick with it. It's part of the process. And if this video helped you in any way, let me know in the comments. What's something you're struggling with in your photography right now? I'll see you in the next one.